Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
And we are on episode 101.
Yes!
Woo! Oh my gosh, Great Girlfriends. So much to talk about in so little time. Especially with the planes flying over and the birds chirping and all of the beautiful sounds of the great outdoors. Because guess what?
We are recording from Sybil's deck.
Recording for the deck. We didn't want to record inside. We wanted to record outside. So you guys get to get all of that natural landscaping, and you get to hear God talking to you through these birds. I mean, they're having a full-out combo right now.
A full conversation.
I bet they're making lunch plans.
Maybe.
That's what they're doing.
Maybe.
So you just had a huge conference last week, Brandis, called What Women Want 17.
You're so crazy. It was beyond words. Honestly, like people keep asking me, how was the conference? I'm like, it was incredible. And I wish I could put into words what it really was. But it was like a big, huge love ball.
I like that, a love ball. It was a love ball.
Disguised as a conference. It was amazing. Like the love you felt at this conference, the support you felt, the warmth of it. Like honestly, the speakers were absolutely amazing. Like we can't even get into them right now because we had to do a whole podcast episode on that. But the feeling of the entire weekend, it was just love.
It sure was. So much connection, and it was really great because I know most of the girlfriends feel like we probably knew a lot of people that were coming, and you know, we would expect to see so many familiar faces. There were so many new faces that I just felt blown. I felt so honored because these are people that did not know us.
Right.
And our pre-event survey indicated that the majority of people who attended had not listened to the podcast.
Which is so crazy.
Which is bananas. Shame on you. Hopefully you're listening now.
Right.
You got 100 episodes to catch up on.
Right.
But most people had heard about it from a friend and decided to come, which I thought was simply spectacular. But I was amazed because it was like, okay, so not knowing us, they might think we're kind of crazy.
But there were so many people there that does listen to the podcast.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the cool thing was walking up to people and them saying, "This is so weird. I'm so used to hearing your voice on the
in my kitchen or in my room, and now I'm looking at you in the face.
I'm looking at you in the face. That was a moment every time, especially that Thursday night reception.
Oh yeah.
I kept running into people who were saying, "This is so crazy, Brandis. I feel like I know you," and I'm like, "You do know me. You know everything about me because I tell everything on this podcast."
I know. It was really, really strange because it's like, you know, seeing people in person that have built such a strong connection, and now we get a chance to get that back in return through the conference. So special, huge, magnanimous thank you to Prudential.
Absolutely.
Whose house, Brandis?
Prue's house.
Say what? Whose house?
Prue's house.
Prudential for hosting our girlfriends and just curating an experience that was unmatched. For this to be year 2, I'm like, what, we're doing year 3 on Richard Branson's Island?
I know.
What are we doing?
I mean, it's quite possible. Year 3? It is quite possible because, I mean, the entire experience we had the Thursday night reception at the Crosby Street Hotel. And for those of you who aren't familiar with New York, I mean, it is the swank of swankiest hotels. Swanky. Prudential did not, put us in a corner somewhere in New York City. They put us in one of the swankiest spots in the city. And then that night was just so amazing. And we were able to surprise a great girlfriend with the Great Girlfriend of the Year award.
Yes, congratulations, Miss Sherry Riley. Woo! Congratulations, Sherry. You are so deserving of that award.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Not a dry eye.
I mean, after when she accepted her award, she talked about how she had asked God for an easier way. And those of us who are kind of on this journey of fulfilling our purpose, we know that it's not easy. And she said she just asked God for an easier way. And he said, "I can't promise you easier way." And she said she asked him, "Well, can I at least be recognized?" And he and she realized when she asked him that she had to be willing to continue to pursue her purpose, even if no one ever recognized her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she said that recognition felt so good.
Yeah.
And we were so happy that it came from the Great Girlfriends.
Yes. And that so many of you were there to just celebrate Sherry and understand why she was awarded for 2017 Great Girlfriend of the Year. So we are super grateful. Thank you so much. Again, Prudential, thank you so much to all of the Great Girlfriends. There are about 200 Great Girlfriends from around, we can say around the world, because we did have the UK in the building. So that is outside of the States.
We sure did.
Thank you all so much for traveling in. And if you're not following the hashtag, get on Instagram and just go through the pictures. Hashtag WhatWomenWant17 and hashtag OwnMyFuture. There's so many amazing pictures that just give you a glimpse into what the girlfriends were able to experience over the weekend.
Absolutely. It was incredible. That's all
I was sad on Sunday. I was sleepy and sad.
Because it was over?
It was over, and I was like, so where is everyone? Like, where are people going today? Because my FOMO started to kick in. I was like, are people flying out? Are they doing brunch? No one thinks to invite us because they think we're so busy that we wouldn't come, which I wouldn't have been able to make it, but that's not the point.
I was going to say, would you have been able to make it?
Been able to make it?
Would you?
But I would have liked the invite. But yeah, so I was a little sad, and now we are headed to New Orleans. So girlfriends, if you're coming out to Essence Festival in New Orleans next week, the 29th through the, what is it, the 1st or 2nd?
Yes, I think it's the 1st.
Of July, we have an activation with Walmart, and we're so excited because this is our second year with Walmart. That experience first year was amazing. We're going to do it again.
So amazing.
We're going to do it again,
yeah,
y'all.
we're going to have a ball.
Yes, and so I think it's
a time.
Friday morning at 11 a.m. I suggest you get there at 10:30 because the Walmart stage is jammed. It's like a big party over there. So 10:30 Central Time.
Yes.
Central Time at the Walmart stage, and that's going to be in the convention center, and we're on at 11. And we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Lots
really
of
good
surprises.
time.
Get there. And then let us know you're there. We like to take pictures and see everyone's faces. So let us know you're there.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be so much fun.
All right.
I'm still beaming.
You're beaming from the conference?
I am still beaming from the conference.
Yes.
I really am.
And you're beaming because you're holding your amazing TGG journal.
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh. It's so pretty. We'll put a picture on Instagram. It's such a beautiful, beautiful GG yellow journal with our logo debossed on the front, and it's gorgeous. So many of the girlfriends bought plenty of journals.
It's so nice. It is so nice. Yeah, absolutely.
So, what are we talking about today, B?
So our very first panel at the conference was Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And so on that panel, we had Ty Beauchamp, Vanessa DeLuca, and we also had Christina Brown. So I guess I should say where they're from, right? So Christina Brown is the founder of Love Brown Sugar blog. And then Vanessa DeLuca is the editor-in-chief of Essence. And Ty Beauchamp, who is the founder of the Thai Life. And so they've all been on the podcast at this point.
Yes, they have.
And so they were all on the panel and really kind of discussing, like, what do we see when we look in the mirror?
Which is a great question, which is what we want to tackle today with you. So grab your pen and paper.
Pen and paper,
and let's do it.
And pen and paper should be the journal now. So when we say pen and paper, it should be your journal. And you know we're going to get asked questions, well, how can I get this journal?
Yes, so Brandis is going to set that up for us.
Yes, I will.
But seriously, let's dive into this. You know, I can remember a time in my life where looking in the mirror was almost excruciating. When I looked in the mirror, I saw so much hurt. I saw so much, so many stories and history. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed because I had so many things that I felt disappointed about. All things that were happening internally that I was warring with. But then I look at myself and I'm like, well, maybe you're not X, Y, and Z. Maybe you're not so attractive. Maybe the features that you thought were so amazing, maybe they're not so cool anymore because of the things that I had gone through. And girlfriends, I mean, I think if you've listened through maybe 10 episodes, you know that I suffered through depression, and I didn't suffer through, I overcame depression. But I conquered it, and I was suicidal for a good year. And I just had a lot of things that I was warring with as a result of being sexually assaulted. And it took a real toll on me because I placed so much value on well, if I was enough, or if I were all these things that I thought I was, why would this person do what he did?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I looked in the mirror after that incident, I couldn't locate the value anymore. And I was looking at myself through the wrong lens. And I know I'm not the only girlfriend. I'm the only one talking right now, but the one listening,
right,
who's ever been in a situation or had a circumstance, and it seemed like it ripped you of everything good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so hard to see what's meaningful and what's good about you. I remember pre-incident, I would look in the mirror, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a conceited person, but I like certain things about me. And I'd be like, look at my sparkly eyes. And when I look in the mirror after the incident, I just felt like my eyes were dark and dim. I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. And so, you know, when you look in the mirror, the question is, what do you see?
Yeah.
And I know that we have some girlfriends that feel like it's so easy for certain people to look in the mirror.
Right.
You know, for example, our amazing Beyonce. Everyone thinks she's the most beautiful. It must be easy, right, for Beyonce to look in the mirror.
Right.
But Beyonce carries things as well. And there are times when she's admitted that looking in the mirror was hard for her.
Yes.
Believing in herself was hard for her. And so many times I feel like we put so much value on our exterior when we look in the mirror. But the truth is, what we see in the mirror is a reflection of what we feel about ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All that insecurity comes out, you know. Sometimes you feel like what do you call it? You know, someone who's impersonating. There's a
impersonation syndrome.
Yeah, impersonation syndrome. And you're saying, well, what in the world am I doing? I'm not a baker. You know, I'm not the owner of a bakery. Like, who do I think I am? This is for, you know, Martha Stewart types. I've never been that type of a person. Or you look in the mirror and you say, I'm not a CEO. Like, I don't look or feel like a CEO. What am I doing? Or I'm not an author, or I'm not a mother. Like, like what qualifies? So you start having all of these kind of these doubts in just like who you are. And Sybil always talks about how we leave things up to other people, right? So we'll say, you know, that's for her. That's for him. And like literally sometimes we pursue something and we go back and we look in the mirror and we're like, why did we do this? That's for her.
Yeah.
That's for him to do. Why would I think I could do this?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Isn't it something? I remember What's Love Got to Do with It? There was this scene where Tina was in the dressing room, and this was after she and Ike had been through. I mean, through. I'm talking all the abuse and the neglect and all the disappointments and so forth. And she's putting on her eyeliner. And it was like she started out this woman who knew what she wanted to be and who she was. And by the time Ike finished with her, she looked in the mirror and she couldn't even see herself. And she drags that eyeliner across her eye. And she's putting the wig on. And there's all this noise behind her. And she couldn't even hear it.
Yeah.
And no one saw her.
Yes.
They didn't even see or want to connect with what was really going on with her.
Right.
Everyone had lost touch with the woman that was on the inside of her. And it happens so many times. It's so easy because, you know, it's us against the world sometimes. And the layers, if we take those incidents and then we can find another negative incident and find another doubt and find another naysayer and listen to someone else's criticism or objectivity, and it will just create these mounds of insecurity. And by the time we look at the mirror and face ourselves, we can't even see who we really are.
You know what I was thinking when you said it's us against the world? Most of the time it's us against us.
Right. Yeah.
Because we are literally fighting to become who we know God has called us to be. We're fighting to become who we know we are. We're fighting to do what we know we're capable of. But we're fighting all of these things inside, all of these things internally that says, well, it didn't work the last time.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't do it so great this time. Well, you remember what happened that time you tried to da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you saw it didn't work for so-and-so, and you don't even know anyone that it's worked for. You know, so you have, like, all of these things that you're fighting against on a daily basis, sometimes a minute-by-minute basis.
Really? Seriously.
Sometimes it's a minute-by-minute thing.
Seriously.
That you're saying, well, you know, and those are the times when there has to be something, I feel, deeper that we identify with. Like,
yeah.
I honestly, I mean, I know we have great girlfriends from all different faiths and from all different backgrounds. I honestly don't know how people move forward without faith.
Yeah.
Without a deep belief in who God is and seeing their identity through Him. I honestly don't know, because I need something bigger than me.
We absolutely do. I think we need to, when we think about that time that we spend, and we say when we look in the mirror is symbolic of looking introspectively. It's not necessarily physically looking in the mirror, though those moments matter a lot. It's actually when I look at myself.
Yeah.
What do I see? When I think about who I am, what do I see or what do I feel? And I think that our validation has to come from something more significant than us. It has to come from our source.
Yes.
It can't come from the idea that what I do qualifies me, because I don't ever meet my own standard.
Ever.
Or how great a mom I am, or how great a CEO I am, or wife or friend. I would just never be able to face myself and feel enough or feel qualified. But we have to look at the ways that we can validate ourselves. And the first is to validate ourselves through what God has to say about us.
Yes.
Point blank, period. He has to have the final say in who we are.
Right. Because without that...
we're lost.
I don't even know. And that's why people do so many other, like, crazy things to try to get validation.
Yeah.
And trying to, like, please themselves in all different kinds of ways, and trying to associate with all different types of groups. We're trying to, trying all kind of things with, having a huge ego and all that stuff. All of that stuff is just an attempt for validation.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Even waiting or hoping for our parents to say well done.
Yes.
Or that we're beautiful, or a boyfriend, and if a husband, and if he doesn't say it, it's not true.
Right.
No, I decided a long time ago that what God said about me was going to be the final say.
Right.
That I wouldn't even debate it.
Right.
I won't debate it. I'm going to trust it, and I'm going to pursue it.
Yes.
And if I can stick with what God has to say about me, and if I pursue what God has said about me in my everyday life, and if I reassure myself through that, I'm going to be all good.
Right.
But if I debate it, if I doubt it, if I negotiate with the final authority, which says that we're so fearfully and wonderfully made, and that the plans for us are to prosper and to be in good health and to be happy and whole and to be filled with joy and abundance, if I debate with that, then I'm going to be struggling and warring a war that I've already won. Like, I don't even have to. And what I've also learned, Brandis, is when we stick with that validation, there's nothing a sexual assault can take from me. Because I've decided that I'm the full owner of all things Sybil.
Absolutely.
Of all things Brandis.
Right.
There is nothing that a failure can take from either one of us, or girlfriends. There's nothing that a divorce, abuse.
Right.
There's nothing that losing a job, losing a really awesome title, or losing money, or losing someone significant in your life. Those things can't take away your value, because you've been validated by the one who
made us.
Who made us.
Who created all of us.
Who created all of us.
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing that we wanted to impart on this episode, because I think one of the major takeaways for so many of our girlfriends at the conference was that, oh my God, that situation is not the end of me.
Yes. When you were talking before, I thought of two of our speakers. One is Sherry, and just redefining success.
Absolutely.
And what success looked like. And sometimes we have this one very narrow idea of success.
Absolutely.
When, quite honestly, you're probably super successful now, but we won't allow ourselves to see who we are right now as successful, because we have this idea that no, I'm not successful until I do X.
Yeah.
However, we've done A through, what's the letter coming for X?
You want to stop at W? This is your chicken of the sea moment.
We've done, you know, an entire alphabet, but we don't, you guys see how I got around that, right? But we don't like to think about those things and say that they are successful because we're so focused on this. Yeah. So I'm not a success. So we negate all of these other incredible things that we've been able to accomplish and these incredible things that we've been able to become, like in ourselves, because we haven't done this one thing and we're just defining success by this one little piece. So I thought about Sherry, and then the other thing, because that was something that convicted me at the conference. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing, I was thinking about Tico when she did her talk on fireproof, and she was saying how we don't get over things and people tell you to get over it. And she grew up, you know, around drug addicts and had been brutally raped and all the things that she's been through, and had a brother that was killed and like all these things. And she was saying how you don't get over those things. What were the words that she used? I think she said you take them with you. Like you literally just take them with you on this journey, but you move through it. You move with it. That's what she said. You don't move through it. You move with those things. And those things helps to, you know, eventually it gives you the story. I'm getting it right. It gives you your story, you know, and you can say, here's what I've been through, but I didn't allow those things to define who I am or what I could do or what I was able to accomplish or who I was able to impact and inspire. Yeah. And so you basically get on with those things. Yeah. Which I thought was also really good.
You know, something too that I think is important for us to recognize, and which is aspiration. And I want to call it misappropriated aspiration. Mm. Because I think that it's important for us to understand that aspirations are good when they're appropriated properly, right? So it's good for us to desire to have, you know, to pursue things in life and have, you know, better quality of life than maybe we grew up in, or to desire to have things that will allow us to have more comfort or do more. Mm-hmm. But it's misappropriated aspiration when we attach it to our identity. When we say, once I do this, then I will be.
Oh, that's so good, Sybil. Yes.
Once I do this, then I'm pretty. Mm-hmm. Once I do this, then I deserve. Mm. Once I do this, then I'm beautiful. Then I'm accepted. Then I'm loved. And that's misappropriated aspiration. And I think so many times it's so easy in this world, in America specifically, where advertising teaches us to aspire. And everything about our lifestyle almost teaches us to aspire.
Social media.
Oh my God. The beauty industry. Right. Lord Jesus.
Yes.
If you turn on the TV during certain hours of the day, your house is not clean enough, you're not pretty enough, and you need to get life insurance. Right. It's like things that have to happen for you to be okay. Mm-hmm. But those aspirations sometimes can be misappropriated, which means we attach them to our identity instead of attaching them to a quality of life.
Oh, that's
my quality of life and my identity are two different things. Yes. So, girlfriends, we want to leave you with some affirmations, words that you can use daily that will help to build you up and help you establish your identity and own the woman in the mirror. Like, feel good about her.
Absolutely.
Love her. Right?
Yes.
The first one, I am love and love lives in me. Mm. Do you know what that says about you? That says that everything about you is lovable, that you are loved, that you qualify for love, that you deserve love, that love deserves you, that you're full of it.
Yes.
You're not looking for love. You are love. You're bringing love to the table.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. If I were single and I were out and about, I would be so selective because I know I'm carrying the love.
Yes.
So I'm bringing love into this room. So I get my pick.
Yes.
Because whoever gets me is getting love. And if they don't get me, I'm still loved.
Right.
Because love lives in me.
I love that. I am exactly who God says I am.
Yes!
I am exactly who God says I am. And that's how I define myself.
I love that. So good. So good. That says get in touch with who God says you are so you can feel it and live it out.
Yes.
Number 3, I'm a gift to the world. I'm a gift to the world.
That's so good.
Don't get me wrong. Not everyone will recognize that. And some of us still have to learn to accept that. But I'm a gift to this world. I love that. Gift. I'm a gift. I'm not meant to be beat up on and knocked down. I'm a gift.
Yes. Yes. Can you imagine if you walk through the world with those 3 affirmations every morning?
Oh my gosh. I feel so fancy. I would just feel like, but seriously, how abundant could you be? How abundant?
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And my hope is that when all the girlfriends left the conference from this weekend, that they all felt that.
Absolutely.
That they all felt that. And I believe they did, but I do believe that those 3 affirmations, just try them for a week and email us and let us know how you feel.
Please. We want to know. I mean, these are things that we use. And these are words that we say that empower us. And these are words that keep us lifted and reassure us in moments where we get lost in the circumstance. Because we do too. We have these moments, but we don't stay in them. We don't stay in them. We can't stay low. So we're always seeking higher ground. So that's it for this week. I'm so excited because I feel like I'm going to see some girlfriends walking around with their shoulders high and their chins up.
Maybe we should get those affirmations printed.
We should. I think it's good. Well, Kwaku, I want to thank you.
Thank you, Rich Babe.
Thank you, Sam and Dilly.
Thank you, Miss Sky.
And thank you, girlfriends all around the world, for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. Make sure you listen each Wednesday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Republic, Podcast Bean, Blueberry, and every other podcasting service.
Yes. And you can check us out on our social, on our Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on our Twitter,
_Great GFS,
our Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends,
and please email us your questions at
thegreatgirlfriends@gmail.com. Make sure you post your questions online if you'd like to. Share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're signing off. Peace.